I'm Riikka Alahakkula. I'm writing a PhD thesis on experimental literature, and I write essays, and I'm into glitch feminism.
Yes, I will be speaking first. I'll say first, my name is Taneli Viljanen. My pronouns are they and them. I'm an author and a sound artist. I'm also interested in glitch feminism. If people don't know, this book by Legacy Russell called Glitch Feminism, a manifesto, is the kind of thing that we are talking about, and we are in the process of translating this book.
Hi, I'm Vishnuvardhini Rajan, body philosopher, and my formal education actually involves having masters in scientific translation. And I'm part of the translation group, even though I don't speak Finnish sufficiently to translate the work. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ida Nissinen. I'm an artist, and my background is also in art education. So, yeah, I think I want to keep it short. I go by she, her, or they, them.
And I go by she, they.
My preferred pronouns are they, them.
Okay.
So this is the our structure of the our presentation. I will be speaking first on glitch the word and glitch the concept, and then Vishnu will continue and Ida will continue after them.
Glitch is error. We are the most fantastic and beautiful mistake, never meant to survive. We are still here, an error in the algorithm. We are not empty signifiers, however, we are not dead-end hyperlinks. We react the violent act of naming. We will reconfigure ourselves as we see fit. Modifying and recoding, we choose our own names, build our own families and communities, proudly fail in the present as we dream new futures.
So I will say a few words about glitch the word and glitch the concept as a kind of introduction to the thing. First we have the dictionary definitions. Glitch is a usually minor malfunction, a minor problem that causes a temporary setback, a false or spurious electronic signal. Then the concise definition by Legacy Russell. A glitch is an error, a mistake, a failure to function. Then we have a list of things that glitch does, which is incidentally also the table of contents of Glitch Feminism, a manifesto, the book. Glitch refuses, glitch is cosmic, glitch throws shade, glitch ghosts, glitch is error, glitch encrypts, glitch is antibody, glitch is skin, glitch is virus, glitch mobilizes, glitch is remix, glitch survives. So, if glitch is for Legacy Russell not only a word, but a conceptual intervention, an important aspect of that is that glitch is something active, something that does things in the world. It is a kind of subject. But a glitch is not a sovereign or self-sufficient subject or concept. Glitch occurs in a medium, through a medium, as a kind of error. Also, within the manifesto it is clear that glitch is not only a subject but also an object. It is not only a noun but also a verb and an adjective. It is verbally polyvalent. As much as it is a conceptual intervention, it is also a kind of anti-concept. It refuses to be still. So, what does glitch do? It glitches. It performs glitchiness. In the resulting disturbances and short circuits, there's potential for new emancipatory spaces, for new kinds of non-individual subjectivities, new relations and ensembles. Glitch may give us ways to quote the post-colonial theorist Edward Glissant, that Russell also quotes, consent not to be single beings. I leave for now open the question, what does it mean for language to glitch? It may have something to do with translation and togethernesses, which we'll maybe get to later. But first, Vishnu will tell us what is glitch feminism.
What is glitch feminism? The divide between the digital and the real world no longer exists. We are connected all the time. How do we find out who we are in digital era? Where do we create the space to explore our identity? How can we come together in solidarity? A glitch is normally thought of as an error, a faulty overlaying, but as Legacy Russell shows, liberation can be found within the fissures between gender, technology, and the body. The glitch offers an opportunity for us to perform and transform ourselves in an infinite variety of identities. In glitch feminism, Russell makes a series of radical demands through memoir, art, critical theory, as well as the work of contemporary artists including Juliana Huxtable, Sandra Perry, Boy Child, Victoria Sin, and Kiala Baiga, who have traveled through the glitch in their work. What is glitch feminism? Glitch feminism is a new space that is in the making. The marker of this new space is starting with a no, a refusal of what is accepted as status quo, starting afresh with an error, a glitch. Glitch refuses, as it is an error, a mistake, a failure to function within what is given. This is not enough. And with this warning, Legacy Russell unpacks the terminologies and theories of AFK, IRL, glitch ghosts, digital dualism, binary bodies, and other markers in the current lingo of online criticism. She translates the internet world as she lives it right now. Glitch Feminism, a manifesto, is important work we all need to engage with as Generation Y and digital natives to follow shifting viewpoints of the internet politics in real time. So what is glitch feminism? Glitch feminism offers technological failure, machinic anxiety, and seams in the interface as the very platforms form which we may begin to rework singular identities into inventive networks, proposing a reboot of feminist discourse. Legacy Russell's offers a nuanced look at inspiring artists whose work reprograms system of race, gender, and sexuality in the virtual spaces between living bodies and data bodies. Here the paradox is the opportunity. The glitch shows you how things work just as they don't. I also would like to share an anecdote of how we embodied glitch over the course of the last few weeks, months. And today I broke the fifth wall with Tanali and Rika. We have never met in person before, but I know you. We have been working together online. And Ida and Tanali broke the fifth wall as well today, and they both live in Vallila. Thank you.
Is this like a general part of the presentation, we all could maybe speak. So this is the list of all of the people who are in the working group.
And this is the book.
Yeah.
It's not very long,
Yeah.
so there is something else going on.
Yes. So yeah, I put down some notes about like why do we translate. Maybe I can read them out loud. It's funny to read from the phone. I'm not on Facebook or anything, sorry. So typically the publications and books that are translated into Finnish become culturally more visible and are more likely to become discussed in the media and newspapers in the Finnish context. So basically we translate also the book to anyone who wants to read Glitch Feminism in Finnish rather than in English. This is the basic, like the bottom line. But due to the library acquisition policies, books in Finnish are more likely to become available in public libraries, so translating the book makes it more accessible for people outside of universities. According to quick searches we did, at least in the springtime, there was only one book available, and that was also in an academic library. Also, one reason we want to translate this book is that we think that glitch feminist thinking is needed in Finnish. And this is, of course, that the language plays a huge role in both enabling and restricting meaning making and imagination. And so, to provoke these questions in Finnish is what we find important. Also, the Finnish translation brings this book and its topics deeper into the Finnish context and debate about arts, politics, philosophy, theory, and literature. The intersectional perspective that is aimed in these discourses is rarely actualized in Finnish. Glitch feminism is a much needed and critical intervention into the Finnish paradigm of philosophy and theory. Also, then there is the question of hegemonic monolingualism, which like meaning that the English is kind of like the world language, and then it's also an imperialist language, Finnish probably as well, but still I think it's important to have literature in rather multiple languages than only in one language. So, now you can stay there. So I will read you out loud this section that is also there. A glitch is an error. Glitches are difficult to name and nearly impossible to identify until that instant when they reveal themselves. An accident triggering some form of chaos. The body is a text. Every time we define ourselves, we choose definitions, names that reduce the ways our bodies can be read. Forcing the failure of words, we become impossible. Impossible, we cannot be tamed. So this is a few clips from the book, from the chapter Glitch is Error. So now you can hop on with the slides. So I was thinking of the translation process in relation to glitch. So basically for this presentation I was trying to diffractively read the idea of translation and what does the glitch actually mean. So I was thinking of these questions, you know, this phrase that people use, that something is lost in translation, which is obviously many times true. But then also I think an interesting question could be what is found in translation, to kind of turn it upside down. This is also really interesting because I only now before the presentation learned that Vishnu is actually has done work in like ethics of translation, and then but like scientific translation. I didn't remember this, to be honest, and I think that's really that's amazing. And also the whole question of ethics of translation, because translation is an act of it's you use power basically. And then I was thinking about this idea of a bad glitch, because I mean, glitching is a strategy, it's a tool for resistance, and Legacy here is using it as a generative method for, you know, to survive in the oppressive system. But then I'm thinking in relation to translation, what could be a bad glitch? you know, there is a risk of misreading, there's a risk of distortion or an error that derives from misinterpretation, bias, ignorance, and so forth. So here the ethics of translation become really evident, I think. And I mean, here there might be people here who are actually professional translators or like people who are authors or working with texts. So this might be self-evident, but like for myself, I put down some notes about like translation. Translating is all about choosing and framing, and therefore it is an act of power. And sometimes the most literal translation is not the best. And sometimes translating actually creates an active, requires an active creation. You have to kind of make up words because your language doesn't accommodate them yet. So is it possible to have something found in translation as well as something getting lost? And then I wrote down some other further thoughts. So I'm thinking, is the translation a shadow of its original? Is the translation a version of its original? Is the translation a representation of its original? Or is the translation rather one of the text's avatars? Which would be something maybe according to like glitch feminist ideas, it might be so. And what if we reject the representationalist idea of translation? Does the agency of the text multiply towards a more cosmic range? So these are my like provocations or questions I have in mind. So there is this description of what it means to be something being lost in translation. I will read this one as well. So lost in translation, according to freedictionary.com, means of a word or words having lost or lacking the full subtlety of meaning or significance when translated from the original language to another, especially when done literally, usually formulated as be or get lost in translation. So then I wrote down kind of like a counterpart to this, found in translation of a word or words, a form or forms being chosen, applied, or created to describe or manifest the subtlety of meaning or significance when translated from the original language to another, or when translating data from artificial language to natural language. Yes, maybe you can go forward. Oh yeah, here we are. Here I have this citing from Gayatri Spivak. I will also read this one. First, then, the translator must surrender to the text. She must solicit the text to show the limits of its language, because that rhetorical aspect will point at the silence of the absolute fraying of language that the text wards off in its special manner. Some think this is just an ethereal way of talking about literature or philosophy, but no amount of tough talk can get through the fact that translation is the most intimate act of reading. Unless the translator has earned the right to become the intimate reader, she cannot surrender to the text, cannot respond to the special call of the text. And yes, I think that this notion is extremely important. So we can go, you can hop on. Do we have time?
Yeah, some minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for the presentation or for the questions.
No, for the presentation
that's
that
cool.
we'll
Yeah,
discuss
that's
together
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So I think that like translating like in its essence is about interpretation and transmutation, because like yeah, what happens when you turn one language into another and try to find the way to convey the same message. So in order to expand our understanding of the actual content or what is actually said in the book, we also, as part of this feminist translation group, we have a reading group, which is kind of like working on the side of the translation project. So we actually like share all of the conceptual, theoretical, associative, and personal notions that arise from the text to like acquire more comprehensive understanding of the text and what is actually said. Something else that I found intriguing in the process of translation are all of these anglicisms. So there are many phrases, terms, and abbreviations related to contemporary technology, online culture, internet, so forth, that are only used in English. I cannot really translate them, or they are not commonly translated, and this makes at least my chapters of the book are full of these funny kind of mixed language, Finnish and English all together, because it's really there is no counterpart for them. And for example, AFK, away from keyboard, online, offline, nobody actually translates these. And another case is because this book is talking a lot about gender and gender identity, and the word gender in English, of course, refers to gender as social and cultural representation, construction, and practice, while the word sex in English refers to gender as physical, biological, or anatomical. And in Finnish, there is only one word signifying both of these. It's sukupuoli. An interesting thing is that sukupuoli in itself is actually binary, because there is the word puoli, which means the other, the other side or half of something. So how do you navigate between all of these? Between the Finnish language in itself, English, and then also the relationship of those. So my question is, how can we use language to break its own rules, basically? And then I was also thinking in relation to this translation project, and especially trying to assemblage this crew. I was thinking of this idea of broken English, who has good enough English to be a translator, and who is gatekeeping the language, and who is that's a whole other conversation. And of course, you have to do justice to the original work, but then I think that this is also a really interesting and important conversation. Yes. So then there is also the. Okay. Do we have to quit? I'm blah blah.
Well, I'm thinking it would be nice to open a discussion, and but please say if you had something still something short, but.
I can maybe add that we were really thinking our translation group from the perspective of intersexual feminism. We choose people that identify differently, and we have people there, and also people with different sexualities and genders, because this book really it's good to mixed up different themes of intersectional feminism, and there is so many theoretical points that it's really hard to make a short presentation about the book. But I also sent an abstract for you beforehand, and there you can see Bleach feminism connection to Donna Haraway's cyberfeminism, also Simone de Beauvoir's thought, and things like that. But I suggest that you should read the book. It's very good. Yeah.
Thank you. So Katarina, please, if you want to take your chairs here, then we can all discuss. Thank you. That was really interesting presentations.